there's something peculiar in this story. This is not just another ghost. I mean, after all, there's tons of anthologies of conventional supernatural fiction, and ghost rattling chains and all the rest of it doesn't do anything for us anymore. It might be enough for the Victorians. So it has to be something peculiar that makes you feel, I found something special here. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I try to do with my songs, though not all of them demand that, of course. Some of them demand a more straightforward approach. But basically, when I'm thinking about lyrics, I'm also thinking in story terms, like as Greg Lake said, my music is like short stories set to music. Yeah. And I think that's a very good assessment. And nothing that I deliberately set out to do. I was thinking more in the sense of movies, actually, movies for the mind. But I'm trying to draw you into my world. I'm trying to share not so much an emotion, but a character's compulsions, obsessions with you, so that I feel that you've got it. That's really a peculiar thing to say, I suppose. But I suppose if you normally you write a song, you write to in the way that you want, and you hope people think, it's a great tune, it's got a great beat, and it's blah blah blah. But with me, I'm trying to get to you. I'm trying to say, listen, this is really, really weird. You've got to hear this. This guy is weird funny, or he's weird disturbing, or don't you think so? I suppose that's what I'm doing. It's having a lot of friends around a table, smoking some certain substances or what have you, and saying, you'll never guess. I tell you what it's a bit like. It's a bit like, those anthologies set in a gentleman's club and they share ghost stories.
One of my favorite movies was Dead of Night.
You mean 1945?
I loved that movie because it was an anthology with the framing device of being in a room and people telling stories about like weird things that had happened to them.
Exactly.
That's one of my that on the head is what Paul Roland music reminds me of. Your music. And you are, I think I said this earlier, but not to fawn too much, but I am one of the people that you're talking to.
Good. And I've met one of you then. That's one. Where's the rest?
I know you've met some more. And I mean, I've read fan comments and people that obviously go back and forth with you on social media now that, social media is a thing and has been for, 12 years or whatever. So I know you've met other people like me, but I kind of like being part of this little secret group. It's one of those deals where you found your favorite band and you're almost reluctant to share it because, you want this for yourself. Now, me, whenever anybody says, who are you listening to now? I always say, Paul Roland. And it's
they say still?
Well, actually, it's a different reaction with different people. But I want to assure you, once I say something like that, I follow up with, and you should listen to this song or this song perhaps to start. Right. So I'm always trying to pay it forwards to people because I think it's so worthy and it's so, as weird and as spooky or violent or as twisted as it gets, I find it welcoming. It's a welcoming thing to me. And I always want to find that other person that I know who would also find it welcoming. That's my goal for myself. And by passing it forward, hopefully to you, hopefully you would find one more person that would enjoy what you do.
Well, I think that's another point, carrying on from what I said before, is I have this fantasy that, my music matters, but of course, at the back of it, I know it does matter to some people. And the great thing I feel is that because I've trodden my own path, it may be a very acquired taste. I always think of my music like, handmade chocolates or something, hard to find and not everybody likes them and all that. But those who do, are very Moorish. But the point is, apart from the negative thing I'm trying to keep away, which is reality, on the positive side is I do have a sense that there are people like yourself who are, well, they want to share their enthusiasm, and so there is that optimism in the back that one day, before I die, there'll be even more. And the fact is, it's so genuine and heartfelt. Who needs X record sales? Who needs fantastic reviews? I get some very nice reviews from genuine people, and that's what's great about it. It's very genuine and sincere. It's not necessarily in the mainstream music press, and lots of radio and so on never heard of me, and that's fine, because I feel there is this growing, very slow growing. It's almost like one of these creeping plants that come around and strangle you. But there is this slow movement, or like where people of taste share their taste with other people who they believe have equally weird and impeccable taste, and that's all I want. I mean, that's great.